How to add bitmap pattern designs to brushes in Affinity Designer. Key thing is, start with a completely fresh document, but it needs to have transparency. So go to File and New, and go here. You've got Layout. Now you don't have to have an artboard, so I'm just going to deselect that. So it doesn't need to be artboard. You can if you want, but you can go to Colour, this tab here, and make certain that transparent background is on. If you don't, you'll end up with a white background, which is not really what you want. So click Create. Now, you could, of course, create designs with a white background, but unfortunately, when you apply the brush, you will see that white background each and every time. Now, I'm just going to create some designs. Just some circles. It could be anything. It could be type. It could be different shapes. It could be images. Anything. It could be effects applied to those images as well. But you can create all kinds of different designs, and I'm just going to change the colour there. And something like that. A very, very basic brush. Not the most exciting one either. But what you can do, you can then select all of those designs. Just use the Move tool, so they're all selected. Then go to File and Export. So File and Export. And wait a few seconds, and now you can see a transparent background. If you didn't go for the transparent background, you would see it as white. PNG, that allows for transparency, so that's useful. Don't go for JPEG, etc. But you go down to Area and use Selection Area. So Selection Area, and they're all the ones that have been selected, so you can see now you've got this design there. That will be what's going to be saved. So click Export and save it, and I'm going to save it to 2.png file. So it's stored away on my desktop. And what I can now do is I can go and create another document. So File and New, and this time I'm not going to have transparent background. Doesn't need it because I'm not going to create a brush with this. What I'm going to do is apply brushes. So just go over here and go to the Vector Brush tool. So Vector Brush tool. With that, I can now apply a vector brush. And I'm just going to go to the Brushes panel, and I'm going to go to Oils. I'm just going to select any of these. Doesn't have to be any one particular. Say this one. So select this, and I can apply it. And you can see design there, which is fine, but it doesn't include that bitmap that I've just created. So how do I add that? Well, I can, with that selected, so you make certain it's obviously selected, you've got here, go down here to the Fill tool, or gradient tool basically. Looks like a gradient, but it's called a Fill tool here in Affinity Designer. So select that, and then go to here, the control bar, and select Stroke. With that, you can go down here. You've got the type, you've got none, solid, linear, elliptical, and you can go through and you can add a gradient to it. But you can also go to bitmap. And with that, offers a panel. This comes up and says, select a file. And I'm just going to use this 2.png. Now, if I went for one that didn't have a transparent background, I would have white in the design, which I don't want. In this case, it's got transparency, so click Open. And now you can see the design. And I can resize this. You've got these handles here, and you can just resize it. You can see, as I do that, you see the result there. And I can move that around, reposition it, angle it, scale it, and so on. There is a slight delay as it processes, but it's applied as a bitmap design. Now, this is a bitmap, it's not a, so you can't make it really massive because it will not look great. But once you've done that, you can also go to the Appearance panel. And the Appearance panel gives you an option to add additional strokes. You could add 10 strokes to this. So just go down here, select this, you can add, or you can just right click and you can duplicate. So duplicate, it will just create a duplicate, obviously, of the existing one. Now, what I can do, again, Fill tool. I can go here with the Fill tool. I can go and go with bitmap again, but again, it always defaults back to the fill. You've always got to remember to set it to stroke. Then you've got the bitmap. So it's selected again, and you can select a different one. Luckily, I created this one earlier, but it's the exact same sort of design. So just 1.png. And you've got these dots, and you can see I've got the original one, the one I created earlier there, and also I can resize this one as well. So make that smaller, but you can see the original blues and greens. So you can build up a very complex design, maybe stars, circles, squares, whatever, a whole load of different designs, images, text, different text can all be added very quickly using this, and resized and angled and changed. So all kinds of great brushstrokes can be created using this approach. But also another option, let's just delete that one now. You can go to the brushes panel itself, and I'm just going to go to a category. So let's just go down here to Andrew 1. Now obviously you're going to have a different category, but this is for all my sort of bitmap ones. And you can go up here and you can create a new category. So you've got rename it, duplicate category, etc. But you can also go down here to new textured image brush. There's also another option, but I'm just going for this one, new textured image brush. Select that and then select that file, the 2.png, but you could select the other one as well. Click open. And then you can see your design. And because, again, it's transparency and it's not white, if it was white, you would end up seeing this white background, which is fine if that's what you want. But I prefer that. You've got the transparency. Of course, you could also add effects to it, so you could have shadows, etc. So again, go to the vector brush tool and you can apply it. Let's just undo that and select there and make certain the size. Let's just increase the size a bit so you can see it and apply. Now you'll see here that you've got this design, which is not what you want, and it's odd because of this. The reason is, if you go here, you notice you've got a stroke. The stroke setting is actually very useful. By having this, you can combine different designs. But I don't want that. I want this stroke to, so you click there. But what you can also do is you can just click here. And this is the key thing. Just click here, this little slash, just that one there. And you will then see the design you created, obviously extended. So again, I can go over here, go to the brush tool. I can apply it again, say. I can also select that one. So make sure it's selected. I can also go over here and double click. And I can tweak it, change it. So double click it to edit it. And you can change brush width. So as you do that, you can see what happens. It increases. Now you can see that it's a bitmap image because it starts to look a bit rough if you push it to obviously a lot larger size. But you can keep it fairly small. But what you can also do is you can change the body. You can go here, stretch or repeat. So you can see, you get this result. So it repeats it. You can also tweak this as well. So you can sort of cut it. So you can see, you can get this very interesting sort of cut effect. Or goes the other way as well. So just go this side. You can see the red there. That's just the range for it. The head offset, as it says. So you can push it like that to create different designs from the same bitmap. And you can change this, tweak this, and you've also got brush variants there. You've got opacity variants, which may or may not work depending on settings and tools. So click close, and then you can apply it. So again, go to the vector brush tool and apply. And you can see in my case, nothing's happening there. Key thing is controller. So you can go up here and you can say automatic or pressure. So set it to pressure and then apply. And then you can see, you can get that transparency coming in. So you have to always remember to set the controller. Weirdly, by default, it doesn't. It just goes for none, which is very odd, especially when you've changed the opacity, etc. But you can see you can create all kinds of different brushstrokes using this, just this basic bitmap. So you've got this design. You can also change the profile. You can tweak it, change it all kinds of ways. So let's just stretch that up. You can see, modify that to change that and close. But what you can also do is you can see over here, appearance. So you can, if you want to, combine it in different ways as well. That's a useful option as well to try out. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. Please subscribe. Also, a like or dislike. Thank you much.